Good morning. Today, I just want to kind of narrow down into something that has been ringing in my head recently as developing countries are looking for ways to develop. What can they do to spark industry and development? And I'm wondering if the approach to sports or development of sports can actually make a country develop. The approaches of sports development may vary between countries. Like the underlying principle remains consistent. Like sports can actually serve as a powerful tool for economic development and community development as well. Because third world countries need development. So, by adopting best practices and leveraging his sports prowess, a country like Kenya can pave the way for a vibrant middle class and sustainable economic growth. So, for example, stadium deals in the United States and are a big deal. They create a whole city, they create a development in an area. And right now, stadiums were built in the United States, stadiums were built in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. So now there's a second wave of stadium deals in the United States. And this has been a very significant emphasis on public funding for new facilities and things of that nature. And with large taxpayer subsidies and external amenities included as part of the larger stadium deals. But in developing countries like Kenya, sports facilities can be used to foster national unity and also gain political advantages and also promote national identity and as well as unity. So, as the United States navigates through this second wave of stadiums, because now they're building new stadiums. You've seen the one in Dallas, the AT&T. You've seen the one in Minneapolis. You've seen the stadium in Mercedes Stadium in Atlanta. These stadiums really just build a whole city around them. So Kenya is taking a different approach compared to what the US is doing. They're leveraging sports facilities to now foster national unity and political advantages. However, in the midst of this backdrop, a pertinent question arises. Can these stadiums also be catalysts for building a robust middle class? As opposed to just letting them be a national unity and political advantage, can they embark on building stadiums to arise or create a middle class? I know in 2013 the Jubilee government promised to build stadiums everywhere, but they're doing it for national unity. And they're also using it for political advantage to show people that they built a stadium. In the US and cities worldwide, they grapple with the tradition from standalone stadium constructions, what they did in the 1990s, to integrating these capital incentive projects into a broader economic development strategy. The evolution of sports industry into global phenomenon presents an opportunity for a cross-country learning how to do this. Indeed, the lessons learned from one nation's utilization of sports in urban development can be applied elsewhere. If it's working in the USA, why can it not work in a developing country like Kenya? So Kenya is renowned for its athletic prowess. And this represents an intriguing case study which people that can look into. So despite its sporting excellence, Kenya has yet to fully capitalize on best urban development practices to integrate its sporting achievements and stadium construction into a comprehensive economic strategy. So the aspiration to host prestigious events like the African League of Nations, which is a tournament that Kenya is going to host, can they utilize sports as a driver of economic activity to bolster the middle class in Kenya Because I believe this presents a very compelling narrative. It is right there at the fingertips. While financing mechanisms for sports venues in Kenya differ from those in the US due to economic disparity and regulatory frameworks, the core concept of integrating sports facilities into a broader development plan remains universal. Even though they're doing it all over the world, why are the third world countries not doing it, or the developing countries? So despite differing GDPs and governmental policies, the notion of leveraging sports infrastructure to anchor growth transcends national boundaries. They do it all over the world. So in Kenya's context, strategic investment in sports facilities can serve as a catalyst for economic growth, fostering entrepreneurship, can foster tourism, and of course community development, and it will still bring the unity amongst the people. So by aligning stadium construction with a broader economic strategy, Kenya has the potential to harness its sporting heritage to propel itself towards a prosperous future. So potential impact on the middle class, let's say a stadium comes, there's Nyayo, there's Kasarani, there's Afraha, Bukungu Stadium. Stadiums can contribute to building a robust middle class through various avenues such as, of course, job creation. There's going to be economic activity. There's going to be infrastructure development, and as well community engagement. For example, in the US, there is a trend towards building or towards larger taxpayer subsidies for stadium projects, with public funding going towards expenses like infrastructure and transformational needs to provide a larger community benefit. So if they do, this demonstrates the potential for stadiums to contribute to economic growth and development, which ultimately benefits the middle class. Now, when I said these stadiums can create jobs, the construction and operation of stadiums can create job opportunities in areas such as construction, event management, hospitality, and of course security. All these people will be hired. Jobs will be created, thereby contributing to income generation and also growth of the middle class. You see, as the middle class grows, the economy of a country also grows. You can easily move from a developing country to a second world country once the middle class grows. Likewise, the external amenities such as including the large stadium deals can contribute to tourism and hospitality industry as well. So creating employment opportunity and stimulating economic activity. Some of these larger stadiums, like the Dallas AT&T Stadium, is a tourist place. People actually pay to go and get tours in the stadium because of the way it has been built. So it can also create tourism if it's built in a magnificent way, or just like they did the Bird's Nest in South Africa during the World Cup. People still go there till today to look at that stadium, the way it was built. This is over 10 or 20, almost 20 years later from the World Cup in South Africa. So infrastructure development and community engagement will work with this stadium construction. So stadium projects often involve the development or improvement of surrounding infrastructure. So when they're building the stadium here, they'll build shops, malls, and other areas of business in the surrounding area, leading to increased economic activity and creating opportunities for business to thrive. And this, of course, ultimately benefits the middle class and, of course, everybody else. Moreover, now a sense of community engagement and social cohesion fostered by the stadium can positively impact the overall well-being and development of the middle class within that local area. Now, if they put a stadium in every county in Kenya, then you know it'll spur economic growth in that area. So while public debate is going on about stadium deals and taxpayer return or investment, I think Kenya's focus on fostering national unity and political advantages through sports facilities demonstrate a different approach to resources. A location that prioritizes social cohesion and identity building will also work together in also creating this middle class, and of course will bring peace and cohesion in the neighborhood. This suggests that investment in sports facilities can be seen as more than just financial assets and can have broader societal implication. So what I can say is leveraging on sports facilities to foster national unity and gain political advantage presents an opportunity to examine the potential impacts of stadiums on building a robust middle class. With consideration for job creation, economic growth, infrastructure development, and community engagement. There is a substantial potential for stadiums to contribute to the growth and well-being of the middle class, align with the Kenya approach for national unity, and identify building through sports facilities. So infrastructure development and community engagement is key. And that's what they need. And that will spur a middle class in the making. That's what I want to say. They can use this as a new way of creating jobs. They can do it as a new way of bringing cohesion and also unity as they prepare for the African nation that is coming in the next year or so, or maybe 2 years, whereby they're supposed to build at least 5 stadiums so that they can host this great event. With that, I think if one of those people building the stadiums can see that, I'm sure it will help them a great deal. Thank you.